Well, this is the f15 x5. Actually, we're tackling the handbrake. Handbrake cable goes all the way here, it goes all the way back, all the way up underneath here. This is the guy right here. So this is the whole unit, and this is what we'll be removing. First thing you do today, remove the tires. Make sure you get both tires off. Make sure you get it on jack stands. I like to use the 6-ton jack stands. Put the tire back on there for safety. Make sure you get both stands, the vehicle both on both stands. You can also leave a center jacking point right here for safety. The first thing you're going to do is remove those tires. Alright, then we're going to come down to this point right here. We're going to have two screws at the back here. These are E18s. Right there. These are E18s, as you can see. So it's best if you can actually get a flex head. This actually fits in here quite perfectly. Works wonders. You get this in here, should be good. Yeah, in here. Works wonders in here. Okay, so the reason why you're removing those two bolts because we got to get this off. So you got to remove the caliper so you can actually able to remove this. This actually gets to the handbrake section. The handbrake lining are inside here. The cable is inside here. As you can see, this is the cable. Alright, so we're going to get this cable off. But to do that, in order to do that, we have to remove the caliper. To remove this right here. But to remove the disc, you need to remove this bolt. Another thing, after you remove the caliper from here, it's never wise to leave it hanging because you've got the brake line here, which is a bit short. So what I usually do, I get myself some bungee cords like this, hook it in here, wrap it around this, and hook it up here. So this keeps this up, so it's not going to put any pressure on the brake line because you don't want anything leaking or anything bursting. So next we're going to tackle this bolt right here, which is, I think this is a 6, Allen key 6. Yep, so it is a 6, and Allen key 6. Yeah, big vision here. Now you may have to beat this off. Give it a tap a few times with a hammer or rubber mallet, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have a buildup of, like this one has a buildup of rust, and you notice that the rust is built up pretty high. So we have to get this off. So chances are you have to clean this off first, and then probably give it a few taps with a mallet to beat up the rust, and this whole thing is going to slide off. Okay. It's a bit tight. So, alright, so after much having to use this guy, and this guy, because of the rust, finally got it off. And this is what we are going. Alright, so after removing this, I mentioned you have two springs to remove. This spring here goes on the side with the handbrake, which is this guy here. You can see, so this spring goes in this hole here, and then this other spring here, the smaller spring, goes on this side. Now you're gonna get the adjustment piece, which is this, which fits in between here. Alright guys, so now you got this one here, which is a real son of a magarama. So this here is a 5 Allen key, and this is where you got to remove it. So you got to fit this in the hole here. Nothing comes easy in life. So this is here. Remove this, and then you're able to, after you remove this, then you're able to pull the cable from this end, and this side will be done. Then you go to the other side and you do the same in terms of removing the disc, removing the caliper, removing that screw, and then we will focus on the main unit itself in the center. So then we come underneath here. We've got 3 bolts. We got 1, and we got number 2 here. Remove this. Nice. We got this third one here. Alright, so we got this 3, and And then this hole, then you have to remove, look between here, we had a clump up here, let's remove this clump here, and then this would be free. Okay, so remove this final bolt, and then this would be free. You have to put this wire through. Remember that you got to disconnect this guy here, which is the line to this to remove, if in case you could get stuck with the brake on to remove it manually. This is the line that goes into the boot, which you can use that red handle piece to twist and pull up, and this would disengage your handbrake manually. This line right here goes all the way up in here. Okay, so I'm looking directly underneath the vehicle right now. Yeah, this here. Unit. Open it up a bit. You see what's inside. If you've never seen inside, this is what's inside. Actually, this smells burnt. Yeah, so the release cable goes underneath here and then releases this mechanism to release cables. And then we've got the new unit right here. A few differences. Well, one of the main differences is that this does not have, as you probably will notice here, doesn't have the release cable for here. Seeing as how they make them now. Yeah, same unit, brand new. I'm gonna install right now. Alright, now whatever you do, don't forget this guy back here. You got this number 5 Allen key, which holds the cable in place here, this clamp. Alright, and it's gonna come all the way over to the front right here. Okay, so whatever you do, don't forget that. You got a number 5 Allen key at the back here, one on each side. So when installing this guy here, remember to clamp it up first, like this. Try to do this with one hand, and then you close it off. Okay, then it's in here, and then the other one fits over. Alright, so this guy comes on here, and voila. Then you put this spring right here, put this spring up here, and then you put the other spring coming to the back right here, and then you got a small piece that goes in between there, which is this guy right here. So I'm going to put the spring first, and then you're going to lift it up with a screwdriver, right, and this is going to fit in here quite easily. Here's another little trick that you can use, right? You use a long nose pliers, put the clip in here, rest it on this, and then this gives you leverage to lift and put it in there. But which I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this camera down. Alright guys, so new unit is completely installed. I noticed you put the caliper back on, this is back on. Okay, if you want to adjust your brake lining, one thing you can do is get through one of these holes. You can put a screwdriver in here, but you have to turn it until you can see the mechanism, and then you can turn it, I think, this way, forward from this end to this end, which will tighten up the lining a bit. So actually, if your brakes feel a bit loose, you can do this. Just to run through it again, this is the BMW f15 2016 and up, f15 and so forth. To change the handbrake, the electronic handbrake module, first thing you remove the tire. You need to remove the caliper on both sides. Best thing to jack it up. Then jack stands directly in the jacking points. The tire under there for safety. Next thing, you remove the 6 Allen key. You remove this, and behind this you're gonna get the mechanisms, which I showed you earlier in the video. Then you're gonna have number 5 Allen key in here. And if you can see it, this clamp right here. I need to tighten up this guy here a bit. Yeah. Then you're gonna have the line running through here, going all the way into the back. Remember, you got clamps to the lines. This is one, and there's one on the other side as well. And then you have 3 bolts, and this will actually drop your electronic module down. Sounds easy, but it's a bit of work.